In order to easily notate surfaces of teeth, dentists use different terminologies to easily describe surfaces to each other. Rather than saying the side next to the cheek, we would say something like buccal. So we're going to go through the different surfaces of teeth so you can easily understand and use this in referencing to dental charting and notes. The easiest one to look at is the biting surface of teeth. This surface right here. So this is called the occlusal surface. That's the biting surface of teeth because you occlude, you bite down, and you chew on it. So that makes it really easy. The side towards the cheek is called the buccal surfaces. That's on the top and bottom. I think buccal is Latin for cheek, and so that's why we use that. Facial is what we use for the very front teeth, from the 3 teeth onwards. We can call those as facial or labial, because labia means the lip, and so because these teeth are close to the lip, we can use that as well. On the inside surface of the lower teeth, this surface right here, that will be called a lingual surface because that's close to the tongue, the lingua. So lingual surface is the side that's on the lower jaw next to the teeth. Out of interest, the lower jaw is called the mandible. The top jaw, which is called the maxilla, the inside surface, so the surface that's next to the roof of the mouth or the palate, is called the palatal surface. So as you can see, they're all describing what they're next to. The cheek side being buccal, the lip side being labial or facial, the biting surface called occlusal, the tongue surface called lingual, and the surface next to the roof of the mouth being called palatal. Now we also have the surfaces that are on either side of the teeth, and that's in reference to the midline of the tooth. If it's towards the midline, it's called mesial. If it's away from the midline, it's called distal. So this tooth surface right there on the back of this tooth is a distal because it's away from the midline, but the same area but on the front of the other tooth is called mesial. We have an easier example here when we can pull this tooth down a bit so you can see. So the front of that tooth that's closer towards the middle is called mesial, and the other side where it's away from the middle, distal. So distal from that midline area. So now we have all the surfaces covered. We have the biting surface, which is the occlusal, the cheek surfaces, which is buccal, the labial surface, which is close to the lip. We have the areas that are close to the tongue called the lingual surfaces, and that's on both sides. We've got the surface on the inside called the palate, and we have the areas facing towards the front of the midline called the mesial, and the areas towards the back called the distal, which is that area right there. So that's dental tooth surfaces.